Hi everyone, this is going to be a comprehensive view into MAC's Gareth Pugh collection for winter 2011. This collection was released on November 23rd, but MAC was about 3 weeks behind in releasing one of the products, which was the Metal X Cream Shadows, and those were finally released just a few days ago, so that's why this video didn't come out right when the collection came out, or a few days before the collection came out. But all the items are here now, including the Metal X Cream Shadows. Now, unlike what is usually the case with my videos where I'm showing you the products on the video for the first time that I've also seen them, with these products I've already reviewed them. There are already posts up, written posts up on the blog at allurabeauty.com, so this review may be a little more comprehensive than usual, and I may have more details for you than I usually do because I've already swatched and worn and reviewed these products. Alright, so with that, let's start with the swatches. I'm going to first show you the box packaging. So all of the boxes that the individual products come in will have a design like this on the cardboard box, and then we'll take a look at the individual packaging as we go along. First, we're going to start off with the two pigments. This is what the packaging looks like, so very different from the normal round packaging in the plastic jars that come with normal MAC pigments. The colors we have here are Guys on the left and Deceit on the right, and these are $32 each. Normally MAC pigments have 4.5 grams of pigment inside of them and they cost $20. These, like I just said, are $32 each and they only have 1.5 grams of pigment inside. So first we're going to swatch Guys. I'm going to pick up some of the pigment on the brush, and then I'm going to press it using the inside of the cap here, and swatching over an eyeshadow base. Here is Guys. So this, as you can see, is a silver color, and it doesn't have large chunks of glitter, but it has noticeable sizes in terms of the glitter that's in there. So light silver glitters. Next, I'm picking up Deceit, pressing it into the cap again, and swatching Deceit. This is a blackened plum with lighter pink pearls inside. It comes off sort of as an off black on the skin. We're going to layer it to try to bring out that purple color and those pink pearls a little more. So here's a second layer of Deceit using the same method I showed you before. Helps in giving you a more opaque and vibrant finish. And as you can see, the glitters here are much more finely milled than with Guys. So there you have the two colors. I think Guys is probably not as impressive of a color because it's not that unique. It's basically just a silver color. Deceit is definitely more unique, but some people will not like the fact that it comes off as an off gray and that purple doesn't come out very vibrantly. What I would suggest if you really want to use this pigment is to put it over a purple base to try to bring out that color a little more so it doesn't look like it's just an off black. Alternatively, you can put it over a light pink base or a regular pink base, and that will help bring out the lighter pink shimmers that are also in this color. To show you how to get a more impressive effect out of the Deceit pigment, I'm going to try swatching it over these two different bases. So on the left we have Let's Skate Paint Pot. This is from the Glitter and Ice collection. This is a very light frosty pink color, and as you can see it doesn't change the base color very much, but it does bring out those shimmers. So if you're most interested in bringing out those lighter pink pearls, you can use a base like this. On the right, I put a thin layer of Ash Violet fluid line. And that can help to bring more of a plum color to this pigment instead of just having it as sort of an off or dark black color. Next up are the two long-awaited Metal X Cream Shadows. And as you can see, it's very similar packaging, a little flatter, and that signature embossed X on the top. The color on the left is Ardent, and the color on the right is Obscura. These are $32 each. Alright, so my skin is a little raw from scraping off those pigments, so you'll have to excuse a little bit of redness here. I picked up the Metal X Cream pigments with my fingers You can apply them with the fingers, you can apply them with a concealer brush if you want a heavier application, and if you want a lighter application, you can even get away with using a fluffier brush and blending it out or thinning it out. So the color on the left we have is is Ardent, and this is a blackened plum burgundy color. And on the right you have a frosted gunmetal gray color that has lighter silver pigments in it. This formulation is very smooth and creamy. It's actually very soft to the touch. It feels almost like a mousse as opposed to a cream. Now, you do have to be careful because these will crease on you very badly, so I would recommend definitely setting them with a powder and even maybe on top of that using a very thin application in order to show you more realistically what effect you're going to get on the lids, since you may not be able to use these colors as heavily as I've swatched them here. I'm just going to use whatever's remaining as a thinner application. And this may be more realistically what you'll get on the lids. So this purple is a fairly standard sort of berry purple color. This color on the right here, the Obscura color, is very, very pretty. The shimmers in it are quite beautiful, but the base color itself is not that unique. It's, you know, very basic gray silver. Next up, we're going to look at the lip products. There are 2 lipsticks that come with this collection. And here you can see the packaging. As with all the other ones, there's this shiny black plastic, and the packaging does get fingerprints on it very easily, so just keep that in mind. The 2 colors you have here are Restrict, which is at the top, and Fervent, which is the one on the bottom. And these are $22 each. So the first color is Restrict, and this is a creamy grade nude color. So it's a light nude. You have to be careful or else the color will wash you out. But the good thing about this color is that it's not too gray in its base. If some of you remember MAC Viva Glam 2, that has a very strong gray tone to it, which is actually very hard to work with because it makes your skin look a little sickly. You know, people who are sick have sort of this gray tone to their skin. And so thankfully this color isn't too gray in tone. Next is Fervent. This is a glossy blackened berry color. It has a satin finish. So this is a deep berry plum. And I forgot to tell you that the first color has a cream sheen finish. So kind of on the opposite spectrum in terms of color depth, you have this very deep color, which would certainly be appropriate for more of a nighttime look, or if you're going for a more dark or gothic look. Next up we have the 2 lip glosses. These are $22 each. The color on the top is Vacant, and the color on the bottom is Outrage. Let's take a look at the packaging. The opening here is much smaller than is normal with lip glosses, and you get a doe foot applicator. So first to swatch is Vacant, and this is a sheer light lavender color with a little bit of a gray tint to it, sort of like with the lipstick, and it has violet pearls in it. It also has a slightly green sheen to it depending on how the light hits this color. And second is Outrage. This is a sheer berry color, and it has blue, green, and silver pearls in it. So this is a very unique color. In the tube it looks kind of scary because you have this green glitter in there and it looks like a brown color almost, but because it's so sheer, it's actually very workable and leaves a very unique color to the lips. Next up is the powder blush in Strata. Again, here's the packaging, exactly the same as with the Metal X Cream Shadows. And here's what the color looks like in the pan. This is $30, and you only get 2.3 grams of blush. A normal MAC blush is $19.50 and has 6 grams of blush, so that's a huge difference both in price and in the amount of product that you're getting. I'm swatching first with an angled blush brush. This is a mid-toned nude color, so it is quite difficult to see on the skin, and I don't have very dark skin, I'm only NC20, so you will need to apply a lot of layers if you want this color to really show up on your skin. And I swipe the brush across the pan many times, and this is the second layer, so with that, this is the kind of finish that you would get on NC20 skin. And just to try to show you better visually over the camera what this color looks like, I'm going to swatch a more dense application with my finger. Next we have the beauty powder in Elude. So as you can see, it's the same concept and design for the packaging. It is extremely heavy because of the material it's made of. It kind of feels like metal, but I think it actually still is plastic. In any case, it is very heavy, and so it feels very luxurious. Here's the color, and as with the Strata blush packaging, you do get a mirror inside, which is very convenient. Now, this product is $60, and you get 8 grams of powder. Usually, even with limited edition beauty powders like this, you get 10 grams, but for whatever reason, in this case, you get 8 grams. So first I'm taking the same angled face brush, and I'm swatching it for you. You wouldn't take this much product. I put a lot of product on this brush to try to show you via the camera what effect you get. So you wouldn't put this much on in actuality, but as you probably cannot see, there is almost no effect on the skin. And like I said before, I'm an NC20 in MAC, and it's not even that there's a slight sheen. I mean, there are individual shimmers that I can see with the naked eye, but there's no color. You can see where the powder is collected here, kind of what it looks like. Again, not that you would put that much powder on your skin, but just to try to convey to you the effect of this powder. Now, I've heard some people say that they use it as an all-over face powder, and that would be fine, I guess, if you want to pay $60 for a setting powder, but you can tell that there are shimmers in this product, and I initially tried to use it as a highlighter, layering and layering again and again, and it doesn't work because it doesn't have a discernible effect as a highlighter on the skin. And then I used it later as a setting powder all over my face. Again, I didn't see any sort of discernible effect in terms of finish or sort of illumination. But when I was driving in the car during the daytime and I looked in the mirror, I did notice that you can definitely tell that there are glitters and shimmers on the face, and you really don't want to do that all over the face because it's just not attractive to have shimmers on the face. So I guess my problem, as I said in my review, with this powder is that you're paying $60 for a product that just doesn't have a very good purpose. I'm going to go ahead and swatch with my finger. So you can see that it definitely has like a white tint to it. So that would be okay if you are the palest of the pale. I would say NC10 or lighter, maybe NC15. But, you know, you don't need to pay $60 for a setting powder, and even if you want a setting powder, you don't want one with shimmers in it. And on the other hand, if you want a highlighter, you want something that actually gives a noticeable difference to the skin, which this just doesn't. It's completely translucent, save for the fact that it has these random shimmers in it. Last up are the 3 nail lacquers. They are $23 each. The colors from left to right are Hyper, Inert, and Ascension. This color is Hyper, Inert, and Ascension. So first we'll start with Hyper. This is a deep blue color with violet and green pearls. In this picture I only had to apply 1 coat, and I get a very opaque and strong color. So I think this is very pretty, but it is easily dupable. For example, Nicole by OPI's Listen to Your Momager, which was recently released with the Kim Kardashian collection, is somewhat similar to this color, and I have seen sort of this color with other lines and other collections before. So I think if you just take even a simple walk around your drugstore, you can find a color that's close to this. Next we have Inert. This is a creamy mid-toned grade nude color with a cream finish. Hyper, which we just looked at, has a frost finish. So again, with Inert, I only had to apply one coat. Again, though, this is a very easily dupable color, even in MAC's own line. For example, Oyster Shell by MAC is very close to this color. And last is Ascension, which MAC's is a gray with blue-violet reflective pearls. It has a frost finish. This also has a green sheen to it, depending on how the light hits it. Again, as with the other colors, I only had to apply one coat, but again, as the same with the other two colors, this is an easily dupable color. For example, Sinful Colors, which is I think only $1 or $2 at drugstores. Let Me Go by Sinful Colors is exactly the same as this color. Also, Wet n Wild's Grey's Anatomy, which came out several months ago with Wet n Wild's new line of nail polish colors, is indiscernible in terms of the color and the finish that you get between that and this color.